All right, I guess we're gonna call the meeting in order then. All right, I guess everybody got the minutes and looked at those. All right. Motion approval.
Yes, I'll make a motion, if you'd be so kind. I'll
Motion.
be in order to make a motion of
Motion
approval.
by Mr. Shekels. You want a second, or?
Second.
Okay. Got a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right. Next item, then Bardstown Fire Department Command Staff Restructure.
Okay. Let's see who we got in charge here.
I'll give you one.
Chief is still at top.
If you can.
He's still in charge?
He's
You got
still
it
upside down.
With Assistant Chief Montgomery leaving, I've appointed Captain Spalding to take over as Assistant Chief.
Is it Todd?
Yes, yeah. And with all that moving around, my goal is I need more people on fire trucks than sitting in offices. So I'd like to change this around some. Currently, we run platoons, first, second, third platoon, 24-hour shift. I have 5 guys on first platoon, 5 guys on third platoon, and 4 guys on second platoon. With doing this way and utilizing our part-timers, we can run just about 6 people on each platoon without having to hire anybody, without having to change our budget. So that's what my goal is. From what I'm doing here, I want to run it past y'all. If y'all are in favor, then I'll take it on up the chain and so forth and stuff. But
I think it'd be a good idea to get more people on the truck. And
right. And they're
that's
even.
the bottom line, what we need.
It is, and with our volunteer program that we have where they come in and they do a shift, they have to do either 8, 16, or 24-hour shift. We'll even have more than 6 at times and stuff on the trucks and stuff.
Can I put a name with these faces?
Sure.
So you got, Todd's gonna be the assistant chief.
Assistant Chief, correct.
You gonna have the captain of training?
The captain in training is Scott Lawson.
Scott, that's what I was figuring.
Oh, and what I like to do also, currently these 3 captain spots are lieutenants. So I'd like to move them up to captain. And this would fall into effect when we get the new station going. So I have a captain in charge of the shift at the new station and a lieutenant in charge of the station down here. So the captains would be Mike Hatfield, and second platoon would be Trevor Mattingly.
He's the second captain?
Yes, sir. And then the third is Justin Brown.
Yes. Is he gonna be healthy enough to do that? Last time I asked that question, after he's gonna be healthy enough to do that.
Oh, I didn't know him. I mean, he's currently a lieutenant, so I didn't know.
That's just a little inside joke.
Okay. And then the 3 lieutenants are yet to be promoted, so we haven't even gotten that far with it. And then the person that I hired to replace Chuck, Charles Montgomery, would go to the second platoon. So basically, I would have 3 people at the new station on the big ladder truck, and two people at this station here on the engine company.
Then you're looking just some salaries too on this.
Yeah, that was phase 2 of it and stuff. We're kind of out of whack on some of the people's salaries, and we've looked at our budget close. I cut $100,000 out of this year's budget, but we think we could even, without having any bleeding or so forth, come up with this amount of money. We're redoing how we do our overtime a lot. In the past, they were bringing everyone in to do a class, especially like a week-long class, and we're paying out quite a bit of money in overtime. So instead of doing that, I bring the instructor in 3 times. And I'd rather pay a guy 2 days overtime than pay 12 guys 3 days overtime and stuff. It makes a big difference and stuff. So by cutting some out of our overtime budget and cutting some out of our general, it's 5320, I think it's the category. We can come up about $40,000 and adjust these pays and get everybody about in the same line, plus give them a little bit of a raise to make them happy. And once again, it's not changing the budget at all. The money's already there. It's just moving it from one category to another category.
I assume you've shown the mayor all this too.
No, I have not. No, I want to bring it to you all first, and if y'all are okay on it, then I'll keep keep moving on up the chain.
Now, the hourly rates here, is that before or after the additional money
This right here is currently,
currently?
right,
That's what you gotta adjust to go to the old, go to 2448.
right,
That's how that,
yes,
you have to, it's a formula they use.
it is, yeah,
That the bookkeeping people use. Because this, if you was doing a regular 40-hour week, regular 8-hour shift day, this 1171 would probably be more like 16.
right, correct, yes.
So they have to modify it to offset the overtime they'd be adjusting for if they want.
Yeah, there's a formula, so many hours at a certain rate, and there's so many hours at another rate.
So that's how that works.
Right, yes. The best thing is just look at the yearly salary, what they have now, then what the new one would be. And then in between the salaries is what the pay would be.
I feel like Scott Lawson, for example.
Yes, sir.
He's a straight 40-hour guy.
Correct.
See what his pay rate is.
Yeah.
And what it averages out to.
Mhm.
That's why these other guys that are 24, 48, they have
Right.
that formula they use breaks that down. So I guess he's the only straight guy you got other than you.
Correct. Or well, let's see. Todd is 40. Todd's not on this because he'll be changing anyway. His promotion. But correct. If you see Scott's 38,134 at 1833 hourly, then you go up and look at Justin Brown, who's just a little bit ahead of it, but his hourly is 1171 because he's a 24-hour shift.
It used to drive me crazy when they first started.
It does.
And then we had to try to make adjustments and give them some raises, but it's a pretty neat formula. It works out. As you can see, get the new salary.
But like I said, if the committee was okay with this, I'd like to pursue it on. I have talked to Tracy about moving the money around, and I understand we move it out of overtime this year, and I'm not coming back next year and asking to put that amount in and keep the salaries the same, but we'll do that.
I won't be here next year, so it'll be all right. I personally have no problem with it.
Hopefully I'll get a chance to answer these questions next year. Job over here.
I think maybe we can.
But I've worked long and hard on this, and like I said, I'm adding more people on fire trucks without hiring more and giving my guys a raise.
So
without increasing
you
my
moving
budget.
Kevin up to lieutenant or something in Corey Lamb?
No,
Ernie?
yeah, we haven't even started the process on the lieutenants yet and so forth. We really wouldn't do that until we got a little closer to the new station opening.
See who's actually going to be.
Correct.
And I think it's important that we really get the competitive salaries for retention, because I think what we're seeing is once we get them up and trained, we lose them, especially the firemen, to other agencies. And so, especially with our growing city, we really need to keep our agency with the experience here in Bardstown, instead of getting them trained and then they move to these other agencies. We want to keep that competitive salary here to keep the experience here once we get them hired.
I got 3 notifications today of departments within 50, 60 miles of us hiring firefighters that pays a lot more and stuff, so this would help.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know some of the rates were as low as they were, to be honest.
Well, they've come a long way what they used to.
They have, yes, they have.
But still, it's.
But like Kevin's currently at 35,360, and I got Connor who's at 32,926, who hasn't even been here a year. Kevin's been here since, I think he said 7, 8 years before, so kind of out of whack a little bit like that.
$9.89 an hour, it's, I mean, I think McDonald's pays that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's adjusted.
Right, yeah, like I said, it's better.
Yeah, when they get the overtime, yeah, right, they get better on the yearly because of the overtime, but you're still working hours and still working overtime.
Yeah, 989 is about like 14.5, something like that. I remember how it breaks down. 1459 starting out. Let's see. Justin Brown, Kevin Grayson. Anyway. I don't
Thanks,
know.
to me, I think it's a good program because it almost, it doesn't quite double, but right now, you know, sometimes I got 4 guys on where I'll end up with 6 or more without having to hire. And then,
So how is
morale.
your volunteer recruiting coming along?
Right, currently, we started out at 14 in the recruit class, or about halfway along, and we currently have 12. So it's pretty
Great
great.
attention.
Yes. And, you know, we've gotten gear in for them. They're excited. They're a great group of men and women. And the only reason we lost 2 is they had some family issue, and they've already contacted us, and they want to get back in the next class. And so
You could get half of them.
yeah, and yeah, that's what we said. Yeah, if we kept half, we would be proud. But currently we have 12. So really happy with that. We have lost a couple of volunteers, but they weren't really giving us anything. So I had one guy made, I think, like 4 runs since the first of the year and stuff. So.
All right. Any other questions? Yeah.
That's good to me.
I think we're okay with it.
Thank you.
All right. Dispatch, I guess that's why you're here, right? All right. You got the floor then.
Yeah, actually, I was bringing
Okay.
it up.
I didn't know, okay.
Yeah. We have a good dispatch center, don't get me wrong. I think we can have a better dispatch center. And Milton and I have talked. I know he cringes every time he probably sees me call or something on the phone. And we're working on issues with it, along with the chief here also and stuff. And I think we're all on the same page. We want to have a good 911 center. We want to keep our first responders safe. And we all just need to get on the same page with it. And all I'm doing here is just letting y'all know that there's some issues, their side, our side, that we're addressing. And just mainly letting you aware of it. So if something come up down the road, I don't want the council saying, why have we not heard anything about this beforehand?
So is anything major, or are you just tweaking stuff?
I think it's just tweaking, don't you? I know one thing, they need more personnel out there. And
How many y'all got out there now, Bill?
Right now, we had one that went full-time yesterday, which will bring us up to 9 dispatchers. And
So how many have on the shift?
right now, 2 to 3. I want 3, which is what we had in 2000.
Well, is that an 8-hour shift or 10-hour shift? 12
12 hour
hours.
shifts.
don't you say you used to have the okay for 15?
We had 12 in 2015, 3 around the clock. We had one that left for other ventures and then one that retired, and those positions were not filled because of budgetary constraints. There was some, that was back during the long ago.
So what do you have, what, 3 on, 2 off, 3 on, 2 off?
Right now, we have, on long week, you'll work 5 days out of 7. You'll work 2, off 2, on 3. And then short week, you'll work 2 days out of 7. So you'll be off 2, on 2, off 3. So they're off every other weekend. Prior to this schedule, we were on the 6 and 2 schedule. We worked 5 to 6 weeks before we got a weekend off. That's murder on morale. The 12-hour shifts have been great for morale. Other things have been harmful to the morale, which we got to work on that. But the 12-hour shifts have been great. They cut down on the sick time, so that's been a big plus for us.
So 3 on, 2 off, 3 on, 3 on, 2 off, 2 on,
2
2
on.
off.
Okay. 2 on, 2 off, 3 on. I'll write it down.
In other words, they work half a year.
They work 14 days a month, yes. So yeah, half a year.
Have you ever looked at 10-hour schedules, since 12 are such long
No.
days?
No. We were one of the first agencies in the area to go to 12-hour shifts, and now others, including Metro, are going 12 hours. They're following.
So
our
what's the
lead.
advantage of 12 versus 10? I always thought, we changed the police schedule from 12.
How's that affect the overtime budget?
We have 8 hours of built-in overtime, and that was built into the schedule. Now, if we don't have a lot of vacancies, then the overtime just, it fits there.
So they get an automatic 8 hours of overtime.
Per pay period.
So it's kind of the same schedule as a paid thing. as
It
fire
was,
services.
the board did that, and it was in the guise of a raise for, I think, a 2 or 3 year period. So we didn't, the dispatchers did not get a raise for like 2 to 3 years, and they got that 8 hours of overtime. Of course, that's more on the historical side of it. We can kind of go into that with the rest of the full board. I wasn't director at the time, so I just know I was a dispatcher, and I love the 12-hour shift. It was great. Like I said, it cut down on our sick call-ins and so forth. And it's been great for us.
You got all single people working over there?
No.
I think, at least I know the previous ISO report, we lost some points because of the dispatch staffing, I think, or there wasn't enough. But, according to the calls we got and whatever criteria however they set the criteria, that we were short-staffed, I think, on that.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all are in the same boat as everybody else. It's hard to get applicants to Warsaw, then when you train them,
Every
they go somewhere else on
We're having
you.
issues getting people in right now. And we've got 2 in training right now and 1 coming later this year. We'll start out part-time.
Answer your question, I guess, Father, I feel like there's nothing major and nothing that can't be fixed. You feel the same way, don't you?
I believe we all need to work together. And
Yeah,
there's,
exactly.
and not, there's a lot of negativity in the past. We've got to move past that, all of us together. We're one team, we're trying to do the same thing. And that's protect the public. So that's what we have to do.
And you see, the people really like the 12-hour
It
shifts.
is. So prior to, we would have, it was nothing to get call-ins left and right. And the call-ins for sick time had drastically dropped.
Well, I guess you can plan things that way.
Like I said, it gives, every other weekend off as well, so you get to have more of a life outside of work.
I told Mel today, I come from Metro, we come from Metro. If you look at Nelson County Dispatch compared to Metro, look at per capita, per run volume, per geographic area, I think Nelson County Dispatch can be right up there with them. Dispatch center, so. But we just gotta work on some changes, some attitudes, and so forth. Like I said, my main goal with this was just to let y'all know, just in case. I know how rumors are. They want you to hear something, the chief's complaining about 911 and so forth, so what's going on? Why are we just now hearing this? And so forth.
Well, y'all are on the committee, so
Correct.
board or whatever it's called, board and 911 board.
How's it made up? It's still got more law enforcement people than
It's required, it has to be 51% law enforcement.
So you got, what, 9-person board?
We have seven-member board for law enforcement, 1 from emergency management, emergency services, the city fire chief, and then a fire chief representative from the county fire departments.
Who's that? Is that still Freddie DeWitt?
Ready to witness.
Okay, you got Joey Pruitt, Freddie DeWitt, you, who else? Who am I missing?
There's
Caleb Matthews.
Caleb Matthews.
Sheriff's-
It's the
Sheriff's
Bloomfield
Department.
Department, yeah.
John Snow from the sheriff's office.
And then.
It's a Bloomfield appointment?
So Celia will be taking Tom Blair's
Tom Blair's
place while he's away at SPI.
There's no Bloomfield representative.
No money. I know I was the police officer over there, didn't want to do it, and so
With the new
Bloomfield
local-
mayor appointed me in when I was county attorney, because they needed a law enforcement person, and the county attorney qualified, so.
The new interlocal agreement took care of that, and made two city police, 2 sheriff's office, and then that covered our 51%.
Then you, Joey, and Freddie.
I don't serve on the board of directors, so. I'm at the meetings, but I don't vote.
You ex officio, I guess.
So to speak, I guess.
Yeah, kind of the executive,
You know, they ask them all the questions, he answers all the questions. Pretty much.
All right. Anything else on dispatch?
think we have a meeting tentatively set up for October 2nd, working on the time.
All right. Anything, well, I see you didn't have anything on the agenda. Anything, comments or anything?
I would like to add, we do have an employee for our property room position that we have been waiting for to fill. Megan Wells is going to be moving from her current position over into that row.
Oh, is she now?
And so that was official today, so we'll be filling her current position as administrative assistant. And so now she'll start training with C.D. Marksberry in that row and start that transition. And with that, we will be able to start with the looking at the vendors for the body cams. We wanted to get that position filled before we started really getting involved in that, because we wanted that position to be involved with our body cam.
Right, since you're gonna be dealing with all the software.
She will be.
She's the one who's gonna be doing that?
She will. She'll be she'll be with the property room, but that will be one of her main roles, is doing the open records with the body cam program.
Yeah, that's why we put that as a full-time rather than part-time, because there's gonna be those extra duties of the body cam.
And she currently does a lot of our open records now and works with Jennifer and Mary. And so she'll hit the ground running with that program, and we wanted her to be involved in that the person to be involved from the beginning. And so now that she is moving over to that position, we'll be able to start narrowing those choices down to 3. We'll narrow that down to 3 vendors, and then put those out in the field with the officers. So hopefully that will be coming up in the next couple months.
You know, so are you completely fully staffed now?
We are.
Okay. I remember one of the directives that you had when you were hired, that you were gonna diversify your department some. So I don't know how you've been coming along with that aspect with
It's very difficult.
with people of color and women and of that. So it doesn't look like it's.
It's been a very difficult challenge. We do have one officer that has applied for another agency, and so if we do have an opening, we're hoping to advertise the next position and hopefully increase diversity with our agency. We had hoped to be able to do that, and we had some officers that we thought we were going to be able to increase diversity, and then I think they backed out on us. And so that is definitely a goal of ours, is to increase diversity, and we've definitely struggled in doing that right now. So that's definitely something we're going to continue to do.
The women want to be as tough as you?
It's me right now.
Okay. Okay.
The only one right now. But I sure do welcome anyone that wants to apply.
You got Megan, she's coming there with you.
Maybe she thinks she's tough.
We sure will welcome that. And so we do want to advertise if we have.
Well, I just had a few calls, see where you were coming along those lines. It didn't look, perception.
Yes, sir.
All right, committee comments. You got anything else, Bill? Or?
That was my comment.
I figured that was. Y'all have anything else? I don't have anything. All right. Next meeting's December 13th, 5 o'clock. You here? Anything else? Motion adjourned.
So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye. I didn't name who did first, second. Did you get that, Jennifer?
Bill, just put that. You can go wrong.